Hidden amidst the serene towns and villages of Karnataka lies a treasure of stone, poetry, and devotion, the Hoysala temples. While the world knows the grandeur of Belur and Halebidu, few have walked through the quiet marvels of Nagamangala, Basaralu, Govindahalli, Hosaholalu, and Nagalapura. Each of these temples, with their star-shaped platforms, ornate ceilings, and walls that seem like living sculptures, speak of an age where architecture was worshipped. And then, standing proud as the UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Temple of Somanathapura tells the world of the tells the world the story of Hoysala mastery in perfect detail. Even the temple of Kaidala is often overlooked, holds within it the genius of the legendary sculptor Jaganachari and the grace of a bygone era. In this journey, we will step beyond the guidebooks and famous names to uncover the quiet brilliance of these lesser known Hoysala jewels. Get ready to lose yourself in a world where every stone whispers history, every carving breathes divinity, and every temple is a masterpiece of geometry, devotion, and art. Stay tuned for my YouTube channel for the full video. Our journey into the lesser known Hoysala temples begins at the Somyakeshava temple in Nagamangala, a fascinating shrine that stands apart from the richly carved monuments that the Hoysalas are usually celebrated for. Built in the 12th century during the reign of King Vishnuvardhana, this temple is a remarkable example of Hoysala experimentation in form and design. Unlike the elaborate sculptures that adorn most Hoysala temples, the walls of the temple here are plain and devoid of any carvings, a striking contrast that immediately captures attention. What makes it even more intriguing are the arrow-shaped markings etched into the walls, a distinctive feature that sets the Somyakeshava temple apart from the other temples in the Hoysala repertoire. Inside the temple retains the essence of Hoysala architectural brilliance, with its star-shaped platform, finely planned sanctum, and carefully crafted details that emphasize geometry and symmetry over ornamentation. It reflects a phase where Hoysalas were still evolving their unique style, making this temple a true architectural landmark in their journey. As we begin here at Nagamangala, this series will take you across nearby towns Basaralu, Govindahalli, Hosaholalu, Nagalapura, Somanathapura, and Kaidala, uncovering forgotten gems that showcase the unmatched craftsmanship of Hoysala. From the quiet town of Nagamangala, where the Somyakeshava temple revealed to us a simpler yet striking side of the Hoysala architecture, our journey now takes us a little deeper into Mandya district to the village of Basaralu. Here stands the Mallikarjuna temple, a dazzling jewel of the Hoysala era, built in 1234 CE during the reign of King Veera Narasimha II. Commissioned by his general Harihara Nayaka, this temple is a true celebration of sculptural brilliance, and yet it remains one of the lesser known gems when compared to the more famous shrines at Belur and Halebidu. The Mallikarjuna temple is a trikuta or a three-shrine structure built on the classic star-shaped platform that is a signature of the Hoysala design. But what truly takes a breath away are the intricate carvings that cover every inch of its exterior walls. Rows of finely sculpted deities, dancers, musicians, celestial beings, animals, and mythological scenes create a visual narrative in stone. Each figure alive with grace and movement. The friezes, arranged in perfect horizontal bands, showcase the epic tales from Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavata Purana, all chiseled with astonishing detail and devotion. Inside the ceilings are no less impressive lotus medallions, ornate panels, and intricately carved pillars reflect the unmatched craftsmanship of the Hoysala artisans, who transformed the hard soapstone into something as delicate as lacework. Unlike the relatively plain walls of Nagamangala, Somyakeshava temple, Basaralu's Mallikarjuna presents a full grandeur of the Hoysala sculptural tradition. It is almost as if artisans wanted to prove that no surface was too small to be brought to life with imagination and skill. And yet, despite its beauty, the Mallikarjuna temple remains in the shadow of Belur and Halebidu. For those who venture here, it is a revelation, a masterpiece that deserves to stand shoulder to shoulder with the finest creations of the Hoysalas. As we move forward in this journey, Basaralu reminds us of the incredible range and depth of the Hoysala art, from the understated to the ornate, from simplicity to grandeur, all bound together by devotion and extraordinary craftsmanship. Leaving behind the sculptural brilliance of Basaralu's Mallikarjuna temple, our journey now takes us further into the heart of Mandya district, to the quiet village of Hosaholalu. Here, hidden from the usual tourist trails, stands the magnificent Lakshmi Narasimha Swami temple, another lesser known marvel of the Hoysala architecture. Built in the 13th century during the reign of King Veera Someshwara, this temple is a splendid example of the Hoysala's artistic mastery. At first glance, what captures your attention is the star-shaped platform, a signature element of the Hoysala design that allows for multiple projections and recesses, giving the temple its striking geometry. But it is the exterior walls that truly narrate the grandeur of this shrine. Every inch is adorned with layers upon layers of intricate carvings, each band telling a story, each frieze unfolding a chapter of myth, devotion, and artistry. At the base, a procession of elephants and horses symbolize strength and endurance. Above them, friezes depict graceful dancers, musicians frozen in timeless rhythm. Rising further are scenes from epics, the Ramayana, Mahabharata, and the Bhagavata Purana, carved in such detail that each figure seems alive with expression filled with emotion. The walls are further emblazoned with exquisitely sculptured deities, guardians, and celestial beings, their postures and ornaments reflecting the unmatched finesse of the Hoysala craftsmanship. The star-shaped projections of the shrine allow for these carvings to play with light and shadow, giving the temple a dynamic, almost living presence as the sun moves across the sky. Unlike Nagamangala's simplicity, even Basaralu's compact brilliance, the Hosaholalu temple offers a grand visual feast on its exterior alone. For a videographer, every surface here is a canvas, a chance to capture the poetry of stone as envisioned by the Hoysala artisans nearly 8 centuries ago. Though it remains hidden away in a small village, the Lakshmi Narasimha Swami temple at Hosaholalu deserves to be counted among the finest Hoysala creations, standing as a testament to the dynasty's devotion, imagination, and eternal love for the sculptural detail. The Lakshmi Narasimha temple in Govindahalli, built in the 13th century during the reign of King Veera Someshwara, is one of the few surviving Trikuta Hoysala temples in Mandya district. Unlike many other Hoysala shrines that are celebrated for their dense cultural ornamentation, Govindahalli's temple presents a blend of simplicity and elegance. The sanctums dedicated to Narasimha, Venugopala, and Lakshmi Narasimha stand on a classical three-star shaped platform. Although the outer walls are comparatively less ornate, the temple still retains friezes and reliefs that reflect the artisan's skill. Carvings of deities, dancers, and mythological episodes can be seen on the portions of the walls, blending narrative and devotion in true Hoysala style. Govindahalli is a hidden gem often overshadowed by the grandeur of Belur, Halebidu, or Somanathapura, yet its quiet charm and surviving details make it an important stop in retracing the artistic journey of the Hoysalas across Karnataka. most celebrated of all the Hoysala temples, the Chennakeshava temple at Somanathapura, today recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Unlike the quiet shrines tucked away in small villages, Somanathapura welcomes a large crowd of visitors every day. Pilgrims, history enthusiasts, and travelers from across the world gather here, drawn by the temple's reputation as one of the finest and best preserved examples of Hoysala art and architecture. Built in 1268 CE during the reign of King Narasimha III by his general Somadandanayaka, this temple is a dazzling showcase of mature Hoysala style. Constructed on the star-shaped platform, the temple is a trikuta, housing three sanctums dedicated to Keshava, Janardana and Venugopala. Although the central deity is missing today, the temple still radiates grandeur through its intricate stonework. What makes Somanathapura truly unforgettable are the endless rows of carvings that cover its exterior walls. From the rhythmic march of elephants at the base to horses, mythical creatures, celestial dancers, musicians, and richly detailed episodes from Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavad Purana, the temple is a complete visual encyclopedia of the Hindu mythology and Hoysala artistry. Each sculpture a masterpiece, alive with emotion and detail, so finely executed that even visual and facial expressions are visible in stone. As the sunlight shifts throughout the day, the shadows dance across these carvings. The temple seems to change its form with every passing hour. This play of light and shadow combined with the temple's breathtaking symmetry creates an experience that feels both timeless and divine. Unlike the hidden gems of Nagamangala, Basaralu, Hosaholalu, Somanathapura stands at the forefront of global recognition. Its crowds a reminder that Hoysala art now belongs not just to Karnataka but to the whole world. And yet, even amidst the visitors and cameras, one can still feel the quiet devotion, the genius of the artisans, and the eternal beauty of the civilization that carved poetry into stone. From the bustling courtyards of Somanathapura, alive with visitors from across the world, we now travel to the quiet village of Nagalapura. Tucked away in this small settlement are two remarkable temples, the Kedareshwara and the Chennakeshava, both bearing the unmistakable signature of Hoysala artistry, yet largely untouched by tourist crowds. Our first stop here is the Kedareshwara temple, built in the 12th century under the King Veeraballala II. This shrine is a splendid example of Hoysala's devotion to detail. Rising on the familiar star platform, its exterior walls are an endless gallery of sculptural brilliance. Bands of elephants, horses, dancers and musicians encircle the temple, above which unfold the great stories of Ramayana, Mahabharata and Bhagavad Purana. Each carving here feels like a miniature fresco in stone. Expressive faces, delicate ornaments and graceful postures, all etched in with an astonishing precision. The temple also preserves some of the finest friezes of divine figures and guardians, their forms radiating through strength and serenity. The layering of the horizontal bands, each one with its own theme, creates a rhythm that is both artistic and devotional, turning the temple into a visual symphony carved from soapstone. A short walk away brings us to Chennakeshava temple of Nagalapura, another jewel in this quiet village. Built in the same Hoysala tradition, the temple dazzles with its intricately carved outer walls. Here too, the artisans filled every inch with life. Gods and goddesses, mythological scenes, celestial dances, and playful animals, each captured with exquisite detail. The star-shaped projections of the shrine gives each carving depth, allowing light and shadow to animate the walls as though the stories themselves are alive. The Chennakeshava temple also features richly decorated panels of deities, many of them adorned with delicate expressions and flowing garments, thus reveal the sculpture's unmatched skill in working with soapstone. Much like the Kedareshwara temple, it reflects the Hoysala's mastery of blending geometry, storytelling and ornamentation into a seamless whole. Together, the twin temples of Nagalapura stands as a reminder that the grandeur of the Hoysala architecture is not just confined to the famous centers of Belur, Halebidu or Somanathapura. Here in the small quiet village, one discovers the same poetry in stone, a treasure trove of carvings and friezes waiting to be discovered by those who venture beyond the well-trodden path. Last Chennakeshava may surprise you. Unlike the ornate shrines of Basaralu, Hosaholalu, or Nagalapura, this temple's outer walls are plain yet devoid of carvings. The absence of decorative sculptures, which we often come to associate so strongly with Hoysala temples, give Kaidala a distinct identity in this journey, a place where simplicity speaks as powerfully as ornamentation. The temple was built in the 12th century and is steeped in legend. It is believed that this is the birthplace of the great sculptor Jagannathari, whose genius helped shape some of the most iconic Hoysala monuments across Karnataka. According to tradition, the deity of Chennakeshava is said to be consecrated by Jagannathari himself, making this shrine not just a temple but a living memorial to the master craftsman of the Hoysala age. What Kaidala lacks in carving makes up for the historical and cultural significance. The plain exterior seems to direct one's hand inward towards the sanctum, emphasizing devotion over grandeur. It reminds us that Hoysala tradition was not just a single uniform style, but a diverse spectrum, ranging from richly cut poetry in stone at Somanathapura to the quiet, understated sanctity of Kaidala. As we stand here at Chennakeshava temple, Kaidala completes our journey across the lesser-known Hoysala masterpieces of Karnataka. From the arrow-shaped walls of Nagamangala to the grand carvings of Basaralu, from the layered friezes of Hosaholalu to the world-renowned artistry of Somanathapura, and finally the simplicity of Kaidala, we witness the full range of dynasty that transform devotion into architecture. The Hoysalas may have passed into history, but their temples remain eternal, each stone still whispering stories of faith, imagination, and timeless brilliance of Karnataka's heritage. And with Kaidala's Chennakeshava temple, our journey through the hidden jewels of Hoysala architecture comes to a close. We began at Nagamangala, where arrow-shaped markings on bare walls showed us the Hoysalas experimenting with form. At Basaralu, we marveled at the delicate carvings of the Mallikarjuna temple. In Hosaholalu, every inch of the Lakshmi Narasimha temple came alive with intricate friezes. At Somanathapura, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, we witnessed the Hoysalas at the artistic zenith, admired today by crowds from around the world. From there we wandered into the twin temples of Nagalapura, where Kedareshwara and Chennakeshava shrines unfolded epic tales into stone. And finally at Kaidala, simplicity replaced ornamentation, reminding us of the roots of this tradition and the legendary sculptor Jagannathari himself. Together, these temples paint a vivid portrait of the Hoysalas, a dynasty that turned soapstone into poetry, geometry into devotion, and architecture into eternal legacy. As we step away from these shrines, their stories linger in the quiet of the villages, in the play of light and shadow on their walls, in timeless devotion carved into every block of stone. Thank you for joining this journey across Karnataka's forgotten temples. If you enjoy traveling with us through history, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel, so together we can continue uncovering the hidden treasures of India's heritage. Until next time, keep exploring, keep discovering, and keep listening to the stones that still whisper the stories of our past.